What's cracking, mi gente? This your boy D once again, coming ready to show some love and a little bit of knowledge. Today, before we get this video going, I'm gonna talk a little bit of slow so you guys can comprehend and understand what I'm saying. Also, excuse me if I sneeze, or excuse me if you hear me a little mocoso, but I got a drip, not from nothing else, but I'm really coming down with a bad cold, and I have a sore throat that's been bothering me. I didn't thought I was gonna be able to do this video for you guys, but I did it. I'm here. So as you can see on the title, today we're gonna talk about an incident that I witnessed when I was on the streets. And before anybody jump on the comment saying, "You dry snitching, homie," what? This is all on paperwork. You know, this has been in paperwork. Why it transpired, how it transpired. I don't know who did it. I just don't, because I couldn't recognize it if you put it in front of me. But it's a video that have been asked for me multiple times about these individuals, if I know them or not. So before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't to, hit that little bell notification in case you want to get some of this banger content I'm going to be dropping this week, or in case you want to come have a little fun, have a little smile, let the stress go out when we do the lives. You know, it gets cracking on the lives, man. Leave a comment underneath. You guys know I always answer when I get the chance. With that said, let's get into this video, man. This incident took place in the Mission District in 2008. I can't remember the date exactly nor the detail, but I know it was 2008. It was a few months, I want to say about a month or 2 months before I got busted. So we were kicking in the hood, you know, in a little park. There used to be a little park right there in the Mission in Valencia. In 20 in Valencia, what we call Little Park. That was for us. And homies for 19 and 16, they used to come in there and do hoops. And they used to come in there, kick it. And it was just basically, we acknowledge each other. Some of us knew each other from different times, like probably high school, probably families that we knew each other, or things like that. Well, with this person, a lot of the homeboys knew him for many reasons. One of them was he was a solid individual. Solid. I mean, this dude was real mellow down, even though he was a G. He was a G. People that have been on the streets knows what I mean. He was a G. But he was mellow. He was really cool. He was really chill back, real respectful. And another thing, he was Salvadorian. So, and it was rare that you will hear homies for 19 or 16 speak Spanish. I'm not saying that they didn't or they have something against it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it was rare. And the homies that did it, most of them were born here, had the different swag, the slang of like growing up on the projects and things like that. So he didn't. He grew, to my knowledge, he was born in the motherland. Well, he was born to parents of El Salvador that gave him a strict Salvadoran culture raising, and he kept his roots. I mean, if you knew him and you start talking Salvadoran to him, and when I say Salvadoran, using words that Salvadoran use, because we use different slang, he would engage in a conversation. Like, he wouldn't stay behind, or he wouldn't look at you like, huh? Can you, por favor, repita? Me no comprendo. Nah, he was a cool dude, you know. And I knew him from times that we done around the neighborhood. I seen him, and my raw dog knew him from juvenile hall. So when he introduced it to me the first time, I took a liking to him. His style was different than the other individuals. And Jonathan, that was his name, aka Trompo, from 16th Street, Vatos Locos. He was an individual that was really mellow. He was really cool, but he was a G. You know what I mean? He was a G. Well, this night was just like any other night. We went to the park. We played a little soccer. And then after the game was finished, my homeboy approached me. My homeboy P-boy approached me. He goes, "Hey, perro, you going to stay at my house tonight, or I'm going to go drop you off?" Because I used to sometimes go with him He would pick me up, he would drop me off. Sometimes I would stay at his fast so he didn't have to do 2 drives. But him being who he was for us in the hood, he will always have to have one person with him at all times. So it's either with me or B-Boy, the Blackie basically. We're gonna call him Blackie. That was nice placazo, but we're gonna call him Blackie. He's still out there. He's doing his thing. He's came home a few years ago. He's out of the game, but I don't want to disrespect him by putting his name out there. So Blackie was always with me and P-Boy. We were always together. So he asked me, like, you gonna go stay at the house today? Tomorrow I don't work, fool, so we can kick it, we play some games, whatever. I told him, yeah, don't trip. I'll go stay. I'll post up. And then plus his mom used to do some good cooking, man. So I was like, yeah, I'll go stay. Usually he used to be with his hyena, his kid, but I think they were going through some stuff. So it was just him those couple weeks. So we just before we go, I told him I was hungry, that I hadn't eaten nothing. So I was like, hey, if I'm hungry, if I want to go eat something. So he's like, where you want to go get? He's like, we can get some burgers. I was like, nah, hell nah. I mean, Taqueria Cancun's right here, 19 and Mission. Well, let me go get some nachos, food, or at least a quesadilla or something, you know? He's like, fuck it, let's go. So as we bend in the corner from 19 in Valencia, going down towards looking for Mission, we run across the homie Nacho and a few individuals, Trompo and a few of his homeboys, you know? And he's like, hey, what's up, fool? You haven't seen your homeboy G? I was like, yeah, he's in the park. He goes, all right. So then he said, told me the fools were looking for some green, some of that Mary J. Blind to get a little issue off. So I was like, hey, yeah, he's in the park over there. Because my homeboy used to, you know, provide that service, let's just say, right? So we stopped to chop it up. So we talking. We see a couple cars kind of driving slow, a little fishy. So we instantly tell them, if who heads up, you know, be trucha. We saw a couple cars drive like really slow, like they're looking for something. Like we can't see because the windows are tinted, so just be careful. Plus, the other thing that kind of threw us off was the driver's side of the window was lower, and you could see a hyena female driving there. So we go down, we talking to him, you know, we chopping it up, we do things, and then we take off. And as I go into the taqueria with my homeboys, I see a car parked down the street. There used to be a Walla Walla store. We call him Walla Walla, but it was an Arab store that was right in between 19 and 18. I saw the store and I saw the car parked there. It was like a little red Honda, but it was all tinted. And it caught my attention because the blinkers were on, like the merchants, the blinker. So I tripped out. So I kept doing what I'm doing. We went in there. And the homeboy goes, hey, if I want to eat me a couple tacos before I drive, because I'm a little bit hungry too. So he ordered his tacos, he get his tacos, he's eating, he's doing his thing. I go outside after I order my quesadilla or quesadilla, and I walk up there and light up a cigarette. So I'm smoking a cigarette. Homeless dude come by, ask me for one, I give him one. And I notice a different car across from the Walla Walla store at the other side on there. Basically looking for like in front of me, but right by the entry. So I was like, what the hell? And I see 3 dudes, bald-headed dudes. One of them had like a red bandana on it, on like in the shoulder. The other fool, like you could tell he had like some red shoes on it. So it tripped me out because at that time you don't really see northerners like that come down unless they were coming down to do their business. So I went back in and I told the homeboys, hey, fool, I think I just saw some northerners, you know. Not that word, but I'm not gonna disrespect no organization here and say something disrespectful to nobody. So the homeboy's like, nah, for you tripping. I was like, bro, believe me, bro, I just saw 2 cars deep. So my homeboy that's next to me gets a call from G. Said, hey, he's like, I just sent you what you asked me for with the homie Trompo. So he goes, okay. So he's gonna be pulling up. He's like, yeah, he left probably about 10 minutes. He had the speaker on that phone, so I was like, I'm tripping out. So I'm like, fool, we about to dip, we're about to go. So whatever you gotta go get from the homies, you know, these fools get into the Momo, they're not coming out. Like, go look to see if they are. So my homeboy had a better eyesight than me, so he walk out and he looks down towards going to 18, and he see three homies, Trompo and two other individuals coming up, and I see a light goes on and off in the other car across the street though, because see, one car was facing like it was gonna go down 18, 17, and 16 going down. The other one was facing like it was going down 20, 21st, 24th going up. So I see the light blinking like on and off a few times. So it tripped me out. I got a Jarrito in my hands with the food that I just ordered. So I stepped out. I see my homeboy. I got my backpack on. He got his backpack on. And then I see a car open. And I see a tall dude with like a red rosary. You could tell something. He was wearing something red because it was like coming across it. And then I saw the red bandana dripping from his thing. I don't think the homies from 16 saw it or realized what was going on, because they didn't react. And knowing Trompo, I think he probably was either on the phone, he was like on another whole other level. So I heard the first pa loud, then I hear pa pa twice. So I look down and I see this dude, two homies take off running away from him, and Trompo, like, I guess with the first shot he shot at them, like he caught them coming towards them. He shot like far away, so they try to turn around to dip into the little hotel that was there, I guess, to whatever, to get whatever they had on them to get out. But when Trompo turned around, the dude was, I guess, caught him right on the back. So what transpired was they woken up. He let them walk past his car. He get out of the car, and he let off one shot. That one shot got their attention, but it didn't hit. Well, it hit Trompo like on his hand. So he turned around to see what the hell is going on. And the homeboys, like, I guess their way of doing was turn around to go further to where we were standing at to get whatever they had stashed. When Trompo took off running, going up, he gets hit in the back of the head. Right by the temple, right here in the back of the head. So here's the shot. Basically what transpires next is that for some reason they wasn't aware that somebody was behind them when they walked through. One of the homies, when the doors got slammed, they turned around, they turned to look back, and that's when he let off the first shot, which it didn't hit. I believe it hit Trompo in either leg, something, but they took off running. We turned around because we were literally coming out of the taqueria, myself and two other gentlemen. We started looking around to trying to figure out, pinpoint where the shots is coming from. We see three homies running, going up towards our way. We got, all three of us got the Jarritos glass bottles, and we hear two more shots. The second shot, we hear somebody, we just seen somebody fell down. And then the other two keep running. They jump into like a little restaurant, I think it was next to the one in there. And I looked at my homeboy and I was like, what the hell? So we ran down. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a tough guy or nothing, but I saw somebody that I kind of recognized it, that I thought was one of the boys. And I saw the bandana, so I figured they're trying to kill one of the homies. So as I ran down, probably like 4 cars away, I grabbed I still had the Jarrito in my hands, and I just grabbed it and threw it. Lucky shot. I'm not gonna say there was I meant to. Lucky shot. I hit him right on the head. The dude looked over. We just started yelling again, banging at him. Then we hear a female voice. That's what tripped me out or everything. We hear a female voice say, "Baby, get in the car." So we looking and we turning around, and it's a female in the driver's seat. It's the same person that we have saw probably like 10 minutes before driving around. So we get to the individual that's on the ground. The homie Muerto for 19 runs down with us. The other 2 individuals, I guess, were inside the bathroom of the restaurant. I don't know what they were doing. But when we reached down, we don't know who he is because he has a hat laying on top of his face and he's laying sideways, face down. So we're like, hey homie, you good? You good? he wouldn't answer. All you can hear was like gargling. Like somebody was trying to say something, but I guess the blood in his mouth and his system was stopping him from him. So finally, I reached down and I lift up the hat, and my body just went numb and cold at the same time because I recognized it. So I started calling him by his first name. They're like, "Hey, Jonathan, you straight? You good? You good?" The other two homies that are with me, know him a little bit longer, they're like, "Oh, hell no." So my older homeboy PB, he just like, "Perro, you good? Perro, you good? Jonathan, you straight?" He was trying to tell us something. At that moment, I didn't know what he was trying to say. And I will tell you later on down the road when I met him, when I saw him again, excuse me, what he told me, and it broke me down and cracked me up because I didn't realize that's what he was trying to tell me. So the homie instantly trying to like lift him up and put it on his, like sit him down or put his head on his legs so the blood that was coming out of the mouth wouldn't drown him. But I saw how stiff his arm was once he picked him up, and I was like, "Nah, fool, don't do that. Don't pick him up." He goes, "What do you mean, homie? This is my homie." I'm like, "I understand you. Check it out. He's leaking and he's bleeding. His hands stiff." I had seen many times different accidents when your body goes stiff. Now I read, I think, or I saw in the documentary, I'm not sure, that you have to be careful when you try to turn somebody around, especially if their body is stiff, because you can break their neck. How true that is, I don't know, but for some reason that kicked through my head. So I told him to slow down. We finally get him up, like get his hat off so he can get some air breathing. He kept trying to tell us something. We don't realize that the police come through. They handcuffs us because we have some blood in our shirts and shoes and stuff like that. And they put us against the wall. They start questioning us. The funny part, there's not funny about the incident. So let me even make that clear. There's nothing funny about somebody getting shot and almost losing their life. But the part that kind of got me angry is they kept us there. We handcuffs to the back. They had to cross our legs. And we see at the other side of the street, homies passing back and forward, homies passing back and forward. So I tell my homeboy, like, "Hey, those fools for 19 or 16, what the hell? Why they keep mugging us?" See, I didn't realize that my homeboy had one of those black jackets. The inside was orange. But in the dark and late nights, plus it was already late, it looks like red. It looked red, and especially far away. So they kept gangbanging on us. They kept throwing up the 1-3, the 19. They kept gangbanging us. Finally, clicked to my homie Black. He goes, "I think they think we're Norteños, fool." I was like, "What the hell?" So they finally released us after asking all the many questions, taking our information down, taking pictures and everything, taking our sweater off. They released us. As we're walking back to the taqueria, there's like probably 8 or 9 homies from 16 and 19. I recognize one of them, and I go, "Hey, G, your homeboy Trompo just got shot, fool. That was Trompo." His answer pissed me off so bad. It got me so angry that I just wanted to punch the lights out of it. But I know at the end it will cause a problem that we didn't want to get into at that moment. He goes, "So what? What do you want me to do? Want me to cry or something?" Tell you that I felt like somebody pulled me from my ears and lift me up and then drop me back down is an understatement. I was so mad. I looked at the homie. I was like, "What do you mean, dog? Like your homie just got shot. That's your answer?" So the homie L boy goes like, "Hey, G, he don't mean it like that, homie." I was like, "Yeah, but that fool's acting like a asshole, homie. I just tell him his homie got shot." So I was already hitting. My homeboy hugged me, pulled me to the side, go, "That's not an apology. They're from different barrios, so let's go keep them pushing." So we leave. We leave. We don't know what happened to him. At that point, I didn't know if he had survived or what happened. They took him to the hospital. And then like a month later, I heard he was doing cool, but he was paralyzed from his left side down. Like his half his shoulder, his hand would go to one side and then he would walk with a limp. And then I tried to see him while he was at the hospital. They denied us because his mom didn't want nobody there, which is respectable. I understood that. 3 years later, almost 4 years, I met him. I see him in the county again. So I walk up to him like, "What's up, T? What's cracking? How you doing, my boy?" And I see his hand. He's like, "What's cracking, G? What the?" Then he goes, "Sit down with me." I was like, "What's cracking, fool?" I'm thinking he's gonna tell me something serious or whatnot. He goes, "Hey, G, un chingo de gracias. I appreciate you, fool. If it wasn't for you and your homeboys, I would have died that night. If you guys didn't put pressure on my wound, I would have died that night." If you guys would have lifted me up the way the homeboy was telling you to do it, you guys would have broke my neck. So I was like, nah, don't trip, homie. It's good. Don't even worry about that. I'm just glad you're okay. But I had that bugging feeling, that question, so I asked him, what were you trying to tell me, dog? When you laying there and you were like, what you were trying to tell me? And I mean this with no disrespect to the homie, but it's funny because I found it crazy. So he goes, fool had so much clavo up on me that when that fool hit me, my shit came out a little bit, and I was in probation. I didn't want to get busted. And that's what I was trying to spit the thing that I had in my mouth, so I could tell you at least get the clavo that was behind my butt. Because I didn't want to get violent and get caught in a new charge. I looked at this fool just thinking that probably he was playing around jokingly. No, he was that serious. So I was like, dude, you were more worried about your dang clavo, you getting a parole violation with a case add on to it. Then your life is like, yeah, if I made it, I didn't want to come do no 60 months. I'm like, dude, you fucking crazy, man. So we chopped it up with her, that we became good friends. And I told him about the incident with his homeboy when he told me that. And he was like, yeah, that was. The moral of the story is that sometimes we don't know what's waiting for us around the corner. Sometimes we don't have an idea if that day that we step out our door is going to be our last, especially living that lifestyle. And that's why I'm so hard, and that's why I keep preaching and doing what I'm doing, because I want you guys to understand, when you're in this lifestyle, you don't know if you cross the street, there might be a rival for 10 years that you did something to him, and now you're doing your family thing, but he still had the upper hand on you, shoot you and kill you. Karma is something that we should believe in, but at the same time, youngsters, is that the thing you want to do? Not knowing, checking, as soon as you come out of the house, you're like this, heading on the street, looking everywhere. Is that the way you want to live? Not sleeping when you hear noises outside your window, outside your house, you popped up really quick, grab that thing and be like, let them come in. That's not life, my guys. That's not life at all. Life is you going to sleep peacefully, having nothing to worry about, waking up the next day, go to work, do your thing, and on a weekend when you get your paycheck, you can take your woman and your kids or whatever you have going on out and have a nice dinner without having to choose a restaurant that you got to get a corner shot so you can see everything and everybody that comes in. A booth that's in a corner at the very back. You don't want to keep living like that, man. That's not life. That's not living. Living is coming home, going out whenever you please. I don't have nothing to tell you. We are seeing so much violence throughout this prison system. We're seeing so much killing and nobody's doing nothing about. So I tell you, youngsters, imagine about an 8 or 9 inch piece of steel going through your body because you did respect to somebody, or you came at them the wrong way, or somebody just woke up at the wrong side of the bed and they say, well, let's that little fool I don't like him, let's whack him. That's not living, man. Living is enjoying your life the best you can, doing healthy things, enjoy your priorities, enjoying your mother, your sister, your brother, and really actually making fun of it, your life, making your life so fun that you don't want to do nothing else but what you're doing. I think we can do better every single day. We can be better. We got to put it in practice, man. And luckily, the homeboy didn't die. Unfortunately for him, he kept doing what he was doing. He didn't learn from his tragedy, his almost fatal shooting, and he's now facing a life sentence, double life sentence in a federal case. I wish with all my heart Trump would have listened and just changed his route. He had a beautiful kid. He has a mother that loved him, but he decided to keep banging, and now he's looking at the double life. Probably even more. You guys don't want to be that person that has a second chance of life and you guys throw it away for nothing. For gangs that will betray you quick, for your homeboy that will betray you so quick, just like that, or for a woman that you got while you were out there gambling that leaves you when you're pissed off. Think about it, man. And be true to yourself. Is this who I want to be? This is what I want? Really? Gambling and being stuck in a cell? Or just going over there eating a lobster at a public place and nice restaurant with your lady on? You guys already know, man. I say nothing but my love to you guys. But I say, let's get it.